Hello, hello, everyone. I am Trina Bolden Fields. I am the founder of the You Are Worthy Summit, certified life coach, and best-selling author. And I'm excited to be joining you this evening with the fabulous Matthew Reynolds. Hello, Matthew.
Hello, hello, Trina. How are you?
I am fabulous, and I'm excited to be on with you today, and sharing this message today. We're coming on to do a You Are Worthy Summit tour. We're talking about the You Are Worthy Summit, and I'm going to be interviewing Matthew here. And I want to take a moment to introduce you, Matthew, and for us to just hop into our topic for today. And I know like how you operate, Matthew, is like you believe that we're here to live our truth and to love the lives we live and the lives we lead. And you talk about the truth being our journey to being our biggest and brightest and fullest selves. And knowing that that may not always have been supportive or loving or engaging initially. And you also talk about facing different situations that have brought us into different places. And so I know you're going to get into that when I talk today. But you've been in different communities. You've been in different countries. You've been around different types of people, different cultures and aspects. And I know you've honed this ability that you have to reach out and bring people together,
Mm.
to reach out and help people understand and see each other's perspectives. And I know that's the work that you do with your process in crafting and helping people to craft their equity lens. And I also know that you have built a beautiful career. You've been a teacher. You are a facilitator. You run your business, MRR Consulting right now, helping people to craft their equity lens. You've been Teacher of the Year, top 5 finalist as well for your state. And you have just done some exceptional work with over 35 years of experience as a performer and over 15 years with the experience as a teacher, as an educator, helping people to really step fully into the work that they're here to do and claim their biggest, fullest, and brightest. And I also know that you're a disruptor. And so that is an important part of your journey. And I know that now you're finding yourself to help others craft their equity lens, living their biggest, fullest, and brightest lives, and doing the work to help move people to that. So thank you, Matthew, and welcome.
Thank you, Trina. Thank you so much. And yeah, welcome to everybody who's catching this either on a replay or is with us right now live. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for being here, everyone. And we're talking today about the You Are Worthy Summit. And we're hosting the You Are Worthy Summit this year in Minneapolis, August 1st through the 3rd of 2024. And so we want to talk about a little bit about the summit. It's an information packed, but also supportive of people, helping people to really claim their worth, know who they are, get their idea out of their heart and out into the world, and know that they're worthy of doing that. So, Matthew, can you share with us a little bit about just a brief introduction to what you're going to share at the You Are Worthy Summit?
Yeah, for sure, Trina. I think that a lot of what you've been that you've shared about my lived experience, how I've gotten to the place of sitting right here on this live stream with you,
Mhm.
is one of the most impactful ways for people to see that yes, it is possible. Um,
Mhm.
in my book, Biggest, Fullest, Brightest: Shifting the Consciousness of Humanity, I talk about and I share a bit of my journey. I share
Mhm.
some of the things that I was indoctrinated into or that I ingested because my cognitive brain wasn't at a point to say, no, that's not mine to do. And it really brought my worth out of me and into somebody else's hands. And
Mhm.
that's not the way that we're supposed to be, is in
Mhm.
my view. I don't think that our cognitive brains being fed that a certain idea of success or a certain idea that the status quo has of us, um, or for parents who, as much as parents love sometimes their children, they may not have healed from some of their own issues that they have with their self-worth, right?
Mhm.
And so the
Mhm.
You Are Worthy Summit is something that helps people really unearth that and begin to start to look at, why do I not see myself worthy of this life that I only dream about? And so I want to take that even another step further and say, yes, once you start to acknowledge that, once you start to live that, once you start to slough that off and really asking yourself how much of your thinking is your thinking and start to realize some of these things, then you will be able to activate that authenticity, and the authentic self, the authentic me wants to live my biggest, fullest, and brightest life. And so
Mhm.
I'll be bringing and digging a little bit deeper into that with folks, and being that disruptor, inviting people to disrupt those negative ways of self-talk, those negative ideas of self and success and
Mhm.
career, and what
Mhm.
some of those things might be. And I think it's a great fit for those who are coming to the You Are Worthy Summit, and what I hear some of the other speakers are going to bring, and what I know for sure you'll be bringing, Trina. So
Definitely. Thank you, Matthew. That is awesome and beautiful and amazing. I think about what you shared, is that, you know, a lot of times people put their worth into someone else's hands, based on how they feel about themselves or what they may have been impacted by. And I wrote down, it's time to take your worth back from another's hands and put it back into your own. And I feel that that's what people are going to be able to get from the time with you at the You Are Worthy Summit.
thank you. That's what I'm hoping people will walk away with. And a real simple way of looking at that, or something that I put in my book, is
Mhm,
we live in this society that says you are not worthy unless you use this shampoo. You
mhm,
are not going to be able to afford that shampoo unless you have this specific career and be successful in that career. You're not going to be able to get that career unless you go to this college or to get a college degree. And you're not going to get into college unless you graduate from high school. And it's this vicious cycle of you're not worthy, you're not worthy, you're not worthy. But in all actuality, we were born worthy, and we were
mhm.
born with our dignity as a human being to be able to take that worthiness and to be able to expound upon it and live our biggest, fullest, and brightest life.
Definitely. We are all worthy to live our biggest, fullest, and brightest lives. And this is the reason why we're having the summit, right? For everybody to be able to step into that for themselves fully, unapologetically.
Mm.
And so, Matthew, why is this summit the event to attend for people who are impacted or who hear our message, people who may be creative, who may be entrepreneurs, women who started their own business? Why do you think this
Mm.
event is important for attendees?
Yes, beautiful, beautiful question. For me, I think the biggest importance is, when you said disruptor, I think it's important for us to disrupt that thought process that we have that isn't ours. I think that this is something that the You Are Worthy Summit, even when it was Claim Your Worth and was online during the pandemic,
Mhm.
before emerging, transforming into the You Are Worthy Summit, I
Yeah.
think it's always been something that dispels the bamboozle. So there's
Mhm.
still so many folks out there who are doing similar work to us, maybe not specifically the ways in which we do it. There's
Mhm.
the difference. And
Mhm.
so at the You Are Worthy conference, we're really stripping that down even for ourselves to make sure that our authentic self is there, that we are being unapologetically ourselves, and that we're actually guiding and supporting and uplifting other people to really see this within themselves, instead of saying, well, if you take this, then this is all going to change. If you do this, then that's going to happen. It's like, no, here's some tools to use. And
Mhm.
that's what I've always taken from the You Are Worthy Summit, is there's always been these tools. I'm not above anybody else just because I've written my book, because I'm living more authentically to who I am. I'm still standing in a circle with you because I see your humanity and I want you to see mine. And I
Mhm.
think that that's what the You Are Worthy Summit does. And
Mhm.
nowhere along its process does it pick up the master's tools, right? And start using those. It really is a new paradigm. It's a new way of beginning to look at what we are doing. And it's a beautiful place to invest in, and investing into ourselves so that
Mhm.
we can then be there for the rest of the community. And that's what makes the You Are Worthy Summit the place to be this summer.
Mhm.
And also, Minnesota is the state that I was born and raised in. So there's a little bit of that there too.
Yes, get to experience it, the beautiful weather at that time, share your beautiful light, with those who are in attendance at the summit. And you brought up a very good point, a very good share about taking the time to invest in you. I think there are a lot of people in the world who pour out and pour into other people. And being at the You Are Worthy Summit is an opportunity for those who are in attendance to get poured into,
Yes.
and feel recharged and renewed and really understand, and know their worth, and build that confidence, as well as the action steps that they'll need to take to move their lives forward. So, anything else that you would like to share about what makes this event important to you? And while you're sharing that, I am going to share the link for those who are tuning in with us today on how you can register. I'm going to share Matthew's link that you can go to, youareworthy.live/Matthew.
Mm.
And be sure to get your ticket there to join us at the summit. But Matthew, can you share a little bit about what make this event an important event to you?
Yeah, I've been to many conferences and summits and things in my time, especially educational ones. And there's networking that happens, right?
Mhm,
Or there's an affinity group, or BIPOC educators, or Black educators, or queer LGBTQIA plus educators coming together in these small little meetings, and we have our hour and a half together, kind of stuff. But then it kind of dissolves after that. There
mhm,
are people from last year's You Are Worthy Summit that I'm still in contact with. That every now and then we send an email to each other, or we social medias, and we check in, and we spend some time doing that. And that to me is something that's really unique about the You Are Worthy Summit, is that community that it builds, that you hear a lot of lip service about,
mhm,
actually really does happen. And we're still invested in each other and upholding each other, because we know the vulnerability at times that was asked of us, either having us, inviting us to, if we felt like it, sharing it out loud, or in the notebook, the journal that we got to follow along through the summit, and things that we put in there. That vulnerability, that activation, is personal healing. And yet we were given a community to do some communal healing with as well. And that's
mhm,
a huge difference, I think, that the You Are Worthy Summit offers, that other conferences and other summits don't necessarily give. They say network, go network, go network. That happens too. And yet the community that came out of it is so rich and so telling of
mhm,
what myself and other speakers and you have put together. So
mhm.
thank you, Trina.
Thank you. I appreciate that, and you're welcome. And really, thank you for that, Matthew. In fact, I'm going to be chatting with a last year summit attendee coming up shortly myself, because we do stay in touch. And those folks who are in my community know that I reach out. I'm going to call. It may take me a little bit for some of us to get to, but I'm reaching out. And I think within the summit, we cultivated that experience, that opportunity for people to really build a solid foundation for engagement and continual keeping in contact moving forward. And that's essential. So thank you for sharing that, Matthew.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I would love to hear, are there any final words you want to share with the listening audience about joining us at the You Are Worthy Summit? We want to definitely say you all go to this link, youareworthy.live/Matthew, and make sure you get your ticket to join us at the You Are Worthy Summit. Matthew, go ahead.
Yeah, I feel that what you stand to gain. I feel that what I choose to share, that I'm being sparked by your presence, is, and that I'm saying this to anybody who right now is like, this is causing something to happen inside me. I'm thinking some things. Activate that. Do not sit and wait. Activate that, because with that waiting process, sometimes what's wiggling its way in is that thought that is not yours. It's the indoctrination. I call mine shadow. It's that shadow voice. It's that status quo's ideas of you. That's
Mhm,
the you are not worthy voice starts to get activated and is like, no, no. And I say that if you are having this somatic feeling to this, somatic response to it, heart rate went up, go for it. Do not wait. Step right into that fear. Take and invest in yourself and join us.
mhm,
Go to the links, sign up, come be a part of, because there's a reason that is happening in your system. Your body is remembering things or wanting to access the authenticity of who you are in ways that you can't think your way in and out of, right? We can block to it, right? Because we've
Right.
been told certain things about how we're supposed to think about it. But when we really just get down to it and feel it in our bodies, and we know that this is what we are supposed to do, Trina, we're shifting the paradigm. We're shifting the paradigm of humanity to one that's more humanity led and not filled with scarcity and extractiveness and destruction. We're uplifting and shifting to a way that is, I mean, I'm a little bit on a tangent. I'll end it here though. What I could have been, what any of us could have been, if I was in an environment as a child, at home, at school, if I went to church, if I went to synagogue, if I went to mosque, if I didn't go to any of those things, went to the Y, whatever. But if I was nurtured to feel my feelings, to be able to openly discuss them, to critically think about them, to feel unconditional belonging, unconditional love, and unconditional support of who I was seeing myself and feeling myself being all the way through the development of my cognitive brain up into my mid 20s. What a different world that would be. And that's the world that I think that we're cultivating. And that's the world that I'm inviting people to cultivate. So thank you so much, Trina, for having me here and being able to share this with folks. And thank you for having me at the You Are Worthy Summit this summer.
You're welcome, Matthew. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being there. Thank you for being a speaker at the event at the You Are Worthy Summit. And you all, we will hold you through this process as well. I think you mentioned that. It is a lot of people tell me that there are times when they come to me that for them, they have a feeling of having a soft place to land. They have the feeling of having that opportunity to heal and build alignment and be in alignment on all of that is brought with us to the summit. And so we definitely want to invite you to join us. Make sure you go to youareworthy.live/Matthew and get your ticket to be at the summit because it will be a life-changing event. So thank you everybody for tuning in and we'll come back and talk to you soon.